is not cap.
Yeah, when you're looking at this Ravens roster, there are holes in it. And how do you fix holes? You gotta at least fill them. You can't just leave them there. So the way you fill them is you either trade for people, you sign people, or you draft people. You don't just hope that someone is going to fill it. You can't just be banking on, this guy, that's undrafted that we signed 3 years ago is gonna ball out. He's gonna be that guy. Now, if he does, it's great. But you always need to make additions to make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance to fill that hole. Throw 4 putties on it. Yep. Don't throw one. Don't use this advice when you're building a house. But when you're fixing a roster, you can use this analogy. But, when you're looking at edge rusher, when you're looking at corner, the Ravens need a lot of guys. And they just need one at each of those spots to work out. Now, if more than one works out, great. We draft 2 corners that are really good and really solid, perfect. But if we just draft one, that's the starting group right there, right? You got Marlon, you got Marcus. Whoever we draft, if we draft a corner that succeeds, boom, that's the 3rd guy. You're set. Now, if we get another guy, then we have 4, and it's a great cornerback room. Edge rusher, we already have Adafe. We already have Tyus Bowser. We just need that one other guy that we can sub in, and he can actually get some pressure. No offense to Sack Daddy or anybody like that, but we need someone.
Dalen Hayes coming back from
we have, yeah. And Dalen Hayes is a perfect example. We hope Dalen Hayes can be that guy, but we don't know if he's going to be. So we need to get another guy with an opportunity to be able to do that. The Ravens did that with the tight end 3 spot last year. They brought in like 3 or 4 guys, and then they all battled it out, and they were like, all right, Josh Oliver, you're the guy. And then we had some injuries, and then it was okay. Also,
Tomlinson?
Yes, Tomlinson. So the Ravens need to draft guys that hit. They just don't need to have everyone hit. They need 3 guys to hit, and it would be a very successful draft class. And not just like, they have to be they don't have to have Jamar Chase rookie seasons. They don't have to have Justin Herbert rookie seasons. They have to have, you know what? I wasn't crying every time he was on the field type of seasons, because there have been times.
I'll take a Braxton Berrios type of season.
Exactly. Like, that guy was solid. I'm trying to think of guys that the Ravens have drafted in recent years where they came out and it was like, that guy was solid. Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst came out and he was solid. It was like, hey, good tight end.
Yep.
We don't need him to be a Pro Bowler year 1. Now, if they have a Lamar Jackson type of season and it's like, oh, wow, this guy's insane. That's amazing. We love those. We will take those every day of the week. But you just need a couple of guys, in the first couple rounds or even in the later rounds that can come in and contribute. And we have 10 picks. Hopefully, you can get the 2 positions we need, edge and corner, and maybe an offensive lineman or, I don't know, specialist. Sorry, I was watching the baseball game. 2 guys just ran into each other. Some sort of specialist or something like that you can get. That's all we need. We don't need anything crazy. But crazy would be good if we got more. It's just we don't need to. I like the way you put it. We can miss, but we can't miss. We can miss on 7 guys if 3 guys work out. I think a lot of people think like a good draft is you hit on 6 of your picks. That is like the greatest draft of all time. If you hit on 6 picks, you need to hit on a couple. Hitting on 1 is like, okay, that was decent. We got that guy.
I think this is about to take us into our next topic.
I think we've already been in that topic. I think we've been in there for a minute. People are gonna be like, what is it? What are they talking about? I'll just cut it in the middle. But guys, we're talking about getting impact players in the draft. That's what we're talking about. But yeah, we didn't have as direct a transition as normal. But
I mean, let's keep it going. Honestly, and it's funny how now we're in the 2022 draft, and in the draft that we had a B plus, where we had multiple fourth round picks, was in 2016, 6 years ago. Our number one pick at number one at 6 was Ronnie Stanley. But let's talk about the guys that we picked in the fourth round. Just give me a minute, guys. Let me just get down there to you. First guy is Tavon Young, nickel cornerback out of Temple. And shout out to him, man, getting signed by the Bears on the 1-year deal. Hope he has another great season. I mean, honestly, he was maybe one of the best corners out of that bad season last year. He stayed healthy. I can't be mad at that. He stayed healthy. He was tackling. That he wasn't tested a lot neither. He was still respected. I think one of his best matchups was him and Hunter Renfrow, the beginning of the season. But next one was Chris Moore out of Cincinnati, wide receiver. When he did get on the field, he did a lot of DTMing, but sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. If y'all don't know what DTM stands for, shout out to McConnell in his phrase, doing too much. But he was a great special teams guy. I mean, he just wanted his chance. He went to the Texans. I don't believe he's really seeing the field like that as a player.
I think he had like one big touchdown. He had like a 70-yard touchdown or something like that. But the Texans were in and out of players all season long. So I think he played a little bit.
So next we got Alex Lewis, out of Nebraska. We always talked about that. If you get a lineman out of Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, you're doing a good job. And I believe Alex Lewis did give us some good play time when we actually did get him in the rotation. Our last guy was Willie Henry out of Michigan.
A Michigan guy.
I don't really remember too much of Willie Henry, but our last guy in the fourth round was one of my favorite running backs, Kenneth Dixon, out of Louisiana Tech. And y'all know what Kenneth Dixon did when he got on the goddamn on field. He ran hard, he took it to the house, and he wasn't scared. And I mean, like I said, that tandem with him and Gus Edwards, that was a special tandem. So out of that, 1, 2, 3, was that 5? Yeah, 5 picks. I mean, we had about 3. No, we had 4 guys that did play good solid minutes. So like I said, Tavon Young, he did come on the scene. He made his presence known. Alex Lewis, as an offensive lineman, he did get snaps, and he wasn't. I don't think he was a bad offensive lineman, but we can always double back and check. And TTB family, y'all always drop in the comments and disagree or agree with me. Chris Moore was on special teams, and like I said, when he did get on the field, he did make some things happen, and sometimes
a lot of touchdowns for him on special teams. That man was the blocked punt guru.
Yeah, there we go.
And that's a good pick. Like getting a guy that is a pure, like I think a lot of people are upset at the Justice Hill pick. That's a good pick. Just because he didn't turn into a star running back, he was a star special teams player. That's a contributing player. That is a good pick. Now, if your first round pick becomes a contributing special teams player, then it's not really.
We gotta have a conversation. Yeah,
but a fourth round guy, that's worth it every day of the week. If you can get production out of your fourth round picks, it is solid. Tylan Wallace last year, he played on special teams. He did all right.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if you've been seeing it, but I've seen it on Twitter. LJ has made a push for a Okonkwo, a tight end out of University of Maryland. Can you see him being a fourth round guy, coming staying in Baltimore or staying in the Maryland area?
I would hope for Wittermeyer, but a tight end nonetheless in the 4th, 5th round, they could absolutely be an instant impact player. It's tough for a wide receiver on this team to become an instant impact because most likely we're not going to draft one super early. I would love George Pickens. I would love Christian Watson. But unless we get a guy super early, if we draft a guy in the 4th round, they're not going to be an instant impact player. There's just so many guys.
Yeah.
But a running back, they could be instant impact because they could be in the rotation of running backs. Mm-hmm. If we get a corner, they could be instant impact because we have no corners and they will see the field. If we get D linemen, they could be instant impact.
Yeah.
Edge rushers can be instant impact. So there are positions where we can get guys that'll be able to play. So there's absolutely a possibility. And the Ravens know that, and they're going to take multiple chances on guys like cornerbacks.
They have to. They
Yeah.
have to. I mean, I don't know about you. If we move up, I know. Somebody said, "No, we can't give 3 first rounds for pick 5 and 7." If you're not willing to give up 3 first rounders for the next 3 years for pick 5 and 7, where you can get a Kayvon Thibodeau and a Sauce Gardner at the same dang time, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say nothing nasty. I just don't know what you're doing with life. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it as that. I mean, that's 2 impact players, and we really don't know the future of a Marcus Peters because yes, we got him coming back. He still has 1 year left on his contract. We didn't make no type of contract extension for him, and free up no money in that type of way. So it will be the best thing, in my opinion, to go after, call New York and say, hey, I know y'all got Wink. I know we got to play y'all, but which I want to do with that 5 and 7 pick. I got 3 first rounders for you because I think McConnell and myself, we already said for the next 3 years, you really don't know where those next couple first round picks end up at if we get those impact players like we need. And honestly, I don't mind giving up the next 3 year of first rounders because if we draft correctly this year, add a couple more pieces in the upcoming year, that first round pick won't be so dire to us. It's we just gotta look at it different ways right now.
Yeah, when you have 10 picks, that doesn't mean you have to draft 10 times. Whether or not it's trading up for a first round pick or trading up, we traded 2/4 for a third. That's a better chance of getting an impact player, right? If you trade up into the second round, you package a third and 2/4, get into the second round. That's even more of an impact chance. So just because we have 5 fourth rounders, 2 third rounders, we have a 6th rounder, a 2nd rounder, a 1st rounder, that doesn't mean we're going to take all of those picks. They may trade up. They may trade back to get, oh, hey, we didn't think that guy was going to be available. Mm-hmm. But now we can trade back up and get him after we traded back. So they can flip-flop, change spots to give their best chance at getting impact players at corner, at edge, at offensive line, at any sort of position, really. Maybe even punter. I don't know if y'all are ready for that conversation yet, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section down below, guys. Definitely, because where are your spots? Where are your spots we can get impact players at?
Yeah, because if we stay at 14, I gotta go edge. If we stay at 14, I gotta go edge. I can't afford anybody else getting picked up. And then 2nd round, got to adjust corner. 3rd, maybe another corner in the wide receiver. And 4th, free for all. Have fun. Tight end, offensive line, running back, linebacker. We have 5 in the 4th again, or 4. Okay, so I said offensive line, running back, cornerback, wide receiver. That's that last pick can go anywhere. Did I say tight end? Tight end.
Boom. Right there. It would be cool to get other guys, other positions. But the guys that we need impact players on, that's where we have to hit. If we draft a wide receiver, it's not necessary that he hits. Obviously, we hope he does. But it's at the tight end, edge, corner. Like you said, Joshua, that's where it's got to be.
Yeah.
That's where you take those chances. But I don't know. Any other things you want to talk about? Instant impact, late round guys.
Nah, I think maybe we can do a topic for the family. What do we feel is more important if we haven't already did so in regards to secondary or front 7 pressure? Rush, because I know a lot of guys are on Jermaine Johnson. Shout out to him because he was in the facility this week. But these last chance you guys, we had Chauncey. Chauncey ain't done nothing yet. I don't even think Chauncey's on the roster still. I would love for him to play, but things happen. People, and But no, man, that's it.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for this most recent podcast episode. If you're watching the third segment, go check out the other segments on YouTube. Check out the podcast platform. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you enjoyed. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, if you could give a review on, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, it would greatly help the podcast. So thank you guys so much. And we will see all of you again next time.